Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. In today's video, we'll be making and creating the best XI for the 2023-2024 season so far. In the goalkeeping position, there's only one player that could be there. Obviously, with Manuel Neuer injured for a large part of this season, Courtois still not hasn't played a single minute this season, and Alisson, now playing Champions League football, recently getting injured, and I think Liverpool extremely overhyped this season. It has to be Gianluigi Donnarumma, who has been spectacular, and it's obviously this is the best season out of his 3 seasons so far at Paris Saint-Germain. He's really stepped up this season. Penalty save versus Arsenal was one of his most memorable performances so far this season. Also has the highest post-shot expected goals in the entirety of Europe's top 5 leagues, which just show how important he's been for Paris Saint-Germain this season. In the 2 centre-back spot, the first one has to be Antonio Rudiger, with David Alaba and Militao suffering ACLs, and obviously, as I mentioned, with Courtois also suffering an injury. Someone had to step up in that defense. Tchouaméni has helped align that Real Madrid defense, but Rudiger has been an absolute beast so far for Real Madrid this season. And now that he's been injured for a few weeks, they've definitely been missing the German beast. And next to him, it has to be Bastone. Obviously, Inter Milan have the best defensive record in Serie A, only conceding 12 goals. And even the Champions League, they have been very crisp defensively. And Bastone, he's been the helm of that defense, not only defensively, but also offensively. Here's what people think Guardiola is with his runs down that left, even an elite crosser at sometimes. So Bastoni, Rudiger are my 2 centre-backs. For the full-back spot, the first one has to be someone that was a free agent this summer that wanted PSG to sign. And that is Alex Grimaldo of Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen obviously sitting first in the Bundesliga, ended first in their Europa League group as well, and he's been sensational for Leverkusen this season. Also, as set-piece specialist, goals against Bayern München, for example, and already he has 10 plus goals and 10 plus assists this season, which just tells you how superb he's been for Bayer Leverkusen this season. In the right back position, it has to be my player, my baller, Achraf Hakimi. He's had 2 underwhelming seasons at PSG, where I used to call him Hakimid because he was mid, but now he's really stepped up, and big thanks to Luis Enrique, who's made him a crucial part of this Paris Saint-Germain side, having one of the most touches, one of the highest shock rating actions in the team, and a defensive beast. Wins 14 duels pretty much every game, runs the entire game, physical specimen, and already has 10 plus goal contributions for Paris Saint-Germain this season. In the midfield 3, the first one has to be Rodri for Manchester City. What a player, what a baller he's been for Manchester City. He has the most touches in the entirety of Europe's top 5 leagues, and when City play without him, you definitely see the difference. He's been astronomical for Manchester City, who I think have been a bit underwhelming this season, especially compared to last season. But Rodri has kept that standard and kept City competing in the Champions League and in the Premier League. The 2 midfielders next to him are both Real Madrid players, the first one being Valverde. Offensively, doesn't offer the absolute most. I mean, if he doesn't get a lucky long shot, he's not going to do anything offensively. But for me, with Valverde, it's off the ball. This Real Madrid side, with having Cruz as a 6 and wingers that don't really defend that much, Valverde is so crucial down the right, down the left. When I watched the recent game versus Leipzig had so many counterattacks, and I'm then like, oh, there's Roadrunner, there's Valverde, peep, peep. He's elite. He's elite at what he's doing, and he deservedly takes a spot in this midfield. And up next to him, obviously, has to be Jude Bellingham. La Liga top scorer, has been crucial for Real Madrid this season. And whenever Real Madrid play without Jude Bellingham, you see the difference there in attack. You don't see a vocal player in the box. You don't see a vocal player trying to play make to Vinicius and Rodrigo. So Bellingham has been Real Madrid's best and most impactful player this season, and deservedly takes a spot in my XI. In attack, the first one I want to start with is Ousmane Dembele. If you look at every single playmaking metric, he tops it, or at least is in the top 3. He's been absolutely insane for Paris Saint-Germain this season. And the haters with the, oh, he doesn't have enough GA, oh, he doesn't have... We are not stats merchants. We are not stats merchant. And if you watch Dembele, who had 2 pre-assists in the important game versus Sociedad and was one of PSG's best players without a GA, just tells you how great of a player he is. And We lost Messi and Neymar this summer, but Dembele has made it much easier to go through that hard patch. Lautaro Martinez is my next attacker. He's the top scorer of Serie A this season and has finally leveled up his goal scoring compared to previous seasons at Inter Milan. And he's been sensational for Inter Milan, who are one of the favorites to win the Champions League this season after their final last season. And Lautaro definitely deserves a place in this 11. Lastly but not least, the best player in the world, the clearly best player in the world, Kylian Mbappe, takes his spot to finish off this XI. He's had insane amount of goals this season, obviously top goal scorer in all competitions for club and country, and I do also think maybe even for club as well. He's been absolutely elite, goal scoring, important games. Obviously was a bit iffy in the Champions League group stage for Paris Saint-Germain, but in the league, he's been monstrous. His goal versus Sociedad, so important, and a true number 9 finish. And once again, a lot of prop has to go to Luis Enrique, who's been starting to play him as a number 9 this season. This is my XI for the best team in the world for the 2023-2024 season. Let me know in the comments down below, what would you guys change in this lineup? And that's been it from your boy PSGINT, and as usual, allez, Paris.